Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rene Brand. I'm International Product Manager in Rapool and invite you for a new session of Deal or No Deal. Today, with best regards from the research station of the NPZ Innovation in Groß-Lüsewitz, close to the Baltic Sea in northeast of Germany. If you are thinking now, NPZ Innovation, what is that? Yeah. That is the research company and belongs to the NPZ KG as one of the shareholders from the Rapool family. Together with you, I would like to have a look here today behind plant health and the importance of new resistances. The modern rapeseed hybrids present a huge offer of really exciting variety features. If I compare that with my history when I sold rapeseed hybrids in central Germany, then LM7 was really a big eye-catcher in the variety descriptions of that hybrids in that time. But today, these modern rapeseed hybrids, they made a huge step forward, especially for this point disease resistances. 10 years ago, just LM7, and when we look today into the different variety descriptions, we can find many further features and resistances like LM3, LMS, LabR1, and so on. So, what is now here the question behind all these different disease resistances? We know that Phoma lingam needs right conditions in the field to show symptoms or then later to have a bigger impact on the final rapeseed production. Despite this climate change, it's still visible that Phoma lingam is one of the major threats for sustainable rapeseed production. We see here now that this LM7 is especially in some of these official scorings in France or in the UK showing this trend of a higher susceptibility year by year based on this race shifting. What does it mean? We need for further successful protection of our plants and higher spraying of more and more fungicides, but we have to keep in mind that we're losing also in the same time more and more of these active ingredients. So that is definitely here the wrong way. What to do? Of course, exactly. We as the breeders have to look with our research teams for new alternative disease resistances. We have to select them, adapt them and offer them later for the further breeding process in our different pipelines of rapeseed hybrids. Luckily, we have here in the NPZ Innovation a big team of experts who are especially looking for this, and they were successfully able to introduce a new disease resistance against Phoma called LMS, already introduced by the NPZ 2015 into the European rapeseed market. Today, especially you can see that in the Baltic markets, the importance of this new disease resistance as leading hybrids like Dominator or Aquila have shown here the advantage based of this LMS resistance. But ladies and gentlemen, where are now the differences between all these different disease resistances like LM7 and LMS and how important are now this upcoming of new Phoma races outside in the field? A lot of questions. Therefore, I'm happy that I could invite here an expert from the NPZ Innovation, Dr. Steffen Rietz. Steffen, you are working already for the NPZ Innovation since 2014 as an expert for phytopathology, and I'm happy that you are now here for me, my man, for explanation of Phoma and the differences of disease resistances. Steffen, I see that you prepared with your colleagues and different assessments here for showing these differences of the state of the infection and then differences between the resistances. Please explain us a little bit where are here the differences.
Hello Rene, yes indeed, we are working for many years on stem cancer disease and develop various bioassays to test for disease development. And we prepared two test sets here. On the one hand, we infected cotyledons of rapeseed with two different races. So we know from our monitoring of isolates that have been taken from the field that the pathogen itself changes or shifts over time, depending particularly on the resistances that you grow in the field. So for many years, RLM7 was very efficient in the field at many locations, as you can see here. So this is an isolate that have been taken from the field some years ago. And these are different varieties. Among them is an RLM7 variety. And this variety has been infected at the cotyledon, as you can see here, with these two spots. So we punched the leaf with a needle, and then we set a suspension of fungal spores to give the fungus the opportunity to invade the leaf and cause disease. RLM7 for a long time can efficiently prevent the infection. When we do the same with RLMS, although we observe disease symptoms, like a susceptible one, and this is something we also recognize pretty early, as you can see here. But in recent years, it was recognized that in some fields, also varieties with RLM7 become diseased by Fomalingam. So we took other isolates from the field, and this is represented here by this tray, where we took an isolate that actually can infect RLM7. We have here the same variety and again get nice symptoms on the leaf as we would expect from a susceptible variety. You can see here the round necrotic spots on the leaves. Also here RLMS actually does not give a particular advantage. But this is not so important because we know that leaf resistance in autumn is not so critical for crop success in the following year. Because what is the threat for rapeseed, of course, is the stem canker in the year of harvest. That's why we also developed an independent assay where we can also test for stem resistance. And here RLMS shows its real benefit. So this is a variety with RLMS resistance. And if we do artificial infection here, this is now 6 weeks ago. In a susceptible one, we will get strong necrotic lesion here, as you can see in a minute. But here with RLMS, it is absolutely pure and clean, and the plant looks proper and healthy and ready to board. While if you have a variety without RLMS resistance, I'm getting this one out here as an example, you get the typical necrotic lesions in the stem base, which then causes a stem canker, the drop of the plant, and then you will lose the complete yield, at least of this plant here. So this makes the difference between RLMS as an alternative major gene resistance to RLM7. It just can protect again different pathotypes.
Steffen, if I understand you now well, so we can found in the field infections in RLMS hybrids in this very, very early cotyledon stage, but they have no bigger impact later for the yield process in the next summer. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's how it looks like. So we know that the pathogen, once it infects the leaves in autumn, it migrates through the petioles into the stem, and then causes the stem canker in the following year, which is actually the more important disease symptom. But somehow the RLMS can protect in many cases this pathogenesis, this progression of the pathogen in the stem, and keeps the plant healthy and alive.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have to summarize that a little bit. Fomalingam, still a very important disease for our rapeseed production in Europe. We see that with the politics change, that we lose more and more of these active ingredients in the fungicides, which give us an additional protection. So that means the plant health itself from my hybrid becomes today, but also in future more and more important. And we see here that some of these older disease resistances like LM7 are a little bit under pressure. We see this kind of race shifting, and that these hybrids showing here by a little bit higher susceptibility. That's why it's important that we have such experts and research activities to find new alternative disease resistances like LMS, which are really required to have here also in future a further strong protection. Steffen, thank you very much for this explanation. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how you see that, but from my opinion, these LMS resistant hybrids from Rapool, that is definitely a big deal for you and should be also in your planning for the next season. I would like to finish my video here for today. Wish you all the best for 2023. Of course, I hope that you were able to manage your rapeseed in the last weeks outside in the field in the best way. Yeah, and looking forward to see you soon somewhere in the Baltics. If you have questions, please contact my colleagues, as they are day by day with you. Thank you very much.